Life is a battlefield, not always one fought with weapons, but one fought with challenges, doubts, setbacks, and fears. Every single person has an inner warrior waiting to be awakened, a strength buried deep within that rises only when tested by fire. Too often, people underestimate themselves. They look at their struggles and convince themselves that they are too weak, too broken, too small to face them. But the truth is, the greatest battles are not outside of you, they are inside. And when you learn to conquer what's within, nothing on the outside can defeat you. The warrior within you is not about physical strength alone. It is about the strength of your spirit, your will, and your determination to rise, no matter how many times life knocks you down. Every scar you carry is not proof of defeat, but evidence of survival, of resilience, of courage. Warriors are not those who never fall. They are those who refuse to stay on the ground when they do. You were not put on this earth to live small, to hide from your potential, or to be a prisoner of fear. The warrior inside you is the voice that whispers, "Try again," when everything in you says give up. It is the fire that keeps burning even in the darkest nights of your life. It is the unshakable belief that no matter how great the mountain, you have the power to climb it. But unleashing your inner warrior is not something that happens by chance. It happens by choice. You must choose to fight through the pain instead of surrendering to it. You must choose discipline over comfort, growth over excuses, action over hesitation. The path of a warrior is never easy, but it is the only path that leads to transformation. When you refuse to let your fears cage you, you discover that strength you never knew existed. The world will test you. People will doubt you. Circumstances will try to break you. And there will be moments when you feel alone, moments when you question whether the fight is worth it. But remember this, true warriors are forged in the fire of adversity. It is the hardship, the rejection, the sleepless nights, and the silent battles that make you unshakable. Do not wait for the perfect moment to prove your strength. Every moment you face resistance, every obstacle in your way, every failure you endure is an invitation to unleash the warrior within. Stand tall. Embrace the struggle. Let your courage roar louder than your fear. Because the truth is, the warrior inside you has always been there. It is in your heartbeat, in your breath, in your will to live, and to become more than what you are today. All you need to do is believe in it, trust it, and set it free. And when you finally unleash your inner warrior, you will realize that no challenge is too great, no dream too distant, no battle too impossible. The world does not need another person who quits. It needs you, the warrior who refuses to back down. The greatest battles are fought within, and conquering yourself is the key to conquering the world. Every human being walks through life facing struggles, obstacles, and conflicts that appear to come from the outside world, competitions, failures, financial hardships, broken relationships, and countless other challenges. But if you look closely, the hardest fights are not the ones waged in public. They are the silent ones fought in the private corners of your own mind. Doubt, fear, insecurity, laziness, procrastination, and the temptation to give up. These are the enemies that live inside of you. And until you defeat them, no victory in the outside world can ever be complete. Think about it. How many dreams have died not because the person lacked talent, but because they allowed fear to convince them that they weren't enough? How many opportunities slipped away, not because life didn't present them, but because someone hesitated over thought or chose comfort over courage? The battles inside us are far more powerful than any obstacle we face outside, because the mind has the power to either push us forward or hold us back in chains. If your inner self is filled with chaos, negativity, and weakness, then even the best circumstances will feel like failure. But when you learn to conquer your thoughts, your emotions, and your impulses, then no storm in the world can drown you. Self-mastery is the foundation of greatness. The strongest people are not those who lift heavy weights or dominate others. They are the ones who can discipline their mind, control their actions, and stay steady in the face of temptation. A person who has conquered themselves has conquered fear, and once fear is removed, possibilities multiply. You cannot control every situation in life. You cannot stop failure, rejection, or difficulty from appearing, but you can control how you respond to it. That control is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Imagine two people standing before the same challenge. One gives in to doubt, tells themselves it is impossible, and walks away. The other feels the same fear, but decides to act anyway, telling themselves that even if they fail, they will learn and try again. What is the difference between these two people? It is not the challenge, because they both face the same one. It is not natural talent, because talent without discipline is wasted. The difference is that one lost the battle inside before even beginning, while the other conquered themselves, and in doing so, opened the door to conquer the challenge outside. This is why the most important fight is always internal. You can spend years blaming circumstances, people, or fate, but the truth is, life changes only when you change yourself. If you cannot control your anger, you will destroy relationships. If you cannot discipline your habits, you will never reach your goals. If you cannot silence your doubts, you will never dare to chase your dreams. The world may appear as your enemy, but the deeper truth is that your real enemy lives inside of you until you take responsibility to overcome it. Conquering yourself does not mean you will be perfect or never feel fear again. It means that you no longer allow fear to dictate your decisions. It means that when laziness whispers, "Rest today, you can try tomorrow," you stand up and take action anyway. It means that when doubt tries to cloud your vision, you remind yourself of your worth and move forward, despite uncertainty. It means building discipline so strong that you act on your commitments, not on your emotions. True freedom is not doing whatever you feel like. It is mastering yourself so that you are not enslaved by your impulses. This self-conquest is not a single moment, but a lifelong practice. Every day you will face battles within yourself. Some days you will feel tired and want to quit. Some days negativity will try to overwhelm you. But if you keep fighting, if you keep showing up, if you keep choosing strength over weakness, eventually you will grow into a version of yourself that is unstoppable. You will find that life becomes easier, not because challenges disappear, but because your strength becomes greater than any challenge that comes your way. The world respects those who can master themselves because they become leaders, examples, and sources of inspiration. People follow not the loudest voice, but the most disciplined one. The person who has conquered themselves becomes a light in the darkness, because while others are defeated by fear and doubt, they keep rising and moving forward. History remembers those who win great external battles, but those victories were only possible because they first won the battle inside. When you conquer yourself, you gain the power to shape your destiny. No longer are you a prisoner of moods, excuses, or circumstances. You become the captain of your own ship, steering it through storms with steady hands. The greatest joy is not in defeating others, but in defeating the weaker version of yourself every single day. That is the real victory, and once you achieve it, the outside world can no longer break you. The truth is simple. You cannot control the world until you control yourself. You cannot conquer your dreams until you conquer your doubts. You cannot master success until you master discipline. The path to greatness begins not with winning trophies, wealth, or applause, but with the quiet, invisible victories you win inside your own heart and mind. So fight those battles daily, fight with courage, fight with faith, and never forget the greatest battles are fought within. And when you conquer yourself, you have already conquered the world. A warrior is not someone who never falls, but someone who refuses to stay down. Life has a way of knocking us down when we least expect it. No matter how strong, talented, or prepared you may be, you will stumble, you will face setbacks, and you will experience moments of failure. Falling is not a sign of weakness, it is a part of the journey. What separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is not whether you fall, but whether you choose to rise again when the ground beneath you feels heavy and the world seems to doubt your strength. Falling teaches us lessons that victories never could. When everything goes smoothly, we become comfortable, and comfort rarely builds resilience. It is in the moments when we crash, when our plans collapse, and when hope seems lost that we discover what we are truly made of. Falling shows us our limits, but refusing to stay down shows us that limits can be broken. Every failure is a mirror, reflecting not just what went wrong, but what must be done to rise stronger. The warrior's spirit is not in never stumbling, but in transforming every fall into fuel for the next step. History is filled with people who fell countless times before they achieved greatness. Think of inventors who failed thousands of times before creating breakthroughs. Think of athletes who lost again and again before finally tasting victory. Think of leaders who faced rejection, criticism, and ridicule before their vision changed the world. If they had stayed down after falling, their stories would have ended in silence. But because they refused to quit, their names became a legacy. This is the essence of a warrior's heart. It is not defined by perfection, but by persistence. Falling is painful. It breaks confidence, it wounds pride, and sometimes it leaves scars that others cannot see. But a warrior understands that pain is not the end, it is the beginning of growth. Pain carves out the strength needed for the battles ahead. Every scar is proof not of weakness, but of survival, of the courage to stand again. The refusal to stay down is what transforms pain into power, what turns wounds into wisdom, and what changes defeat into destiny. The truth is, everyone falls. The strongest leaders, the most successful people, the most disciplined individuals, all of them have stumbled. What made them warriors was the decision to rise again and again, no matter how many times they fell. It is easy to give up after failure, to let shame, doubt, or fear keep you on the ground. But rising requires courage, and courage is the signature of a true warrior. Refusing to stay down does not mean you will rise perfectly every time. Sometimes rising is messy. Sometimes it takes time. But what matters is that you do not remain in the pit of defeat. Each time you get up, you build resilience. Each time you move forward, you strengthen your spirit. With every comeback, you prove to yourself that nothing can permanently break you unless you allow it to. That inner strength, once built, becomes unshakable. A warrior's journey is not about avoiding challenges, but about embracing them. Each fall is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to sharpen your strength. The ground becomes the training ground, not the graveyard of your dreams. By refusing to stay down, you train yourself to see obstacles not as endings, but as stepping stones. You begin to realize that every setback carries within it the seed of a comeback. The harder the fall, the stronger the rise. Life will continue to test you. You will face moments where you question whether rising is worth it, whether trying again is foolish, whether your strength is enough. In those moments, remind yourself that warriors are not remembered for how many times they fell, but for how many times they stood back up. Every rise is an act of defiance against doubt, a declaration that you are not finished yet. Resilience is the ultimate mark of a warrior. Resilience says, I may bend, but I will not break. I may fall, but I will not remain down. The world respects those who endure, those who continue when everything in them screams to stop. That is why refusing to stay down is not just about personal growth. It is about inspiring others. When people see you rise from failure, they are reminded that they, too, can rise. Your refusal to stay down becomes a light for others still struggling in the dark. In the end, greatness is not measured by how perfectly you walk through life, but by how many times you rise after falling. Falling is inevitable, but staying down is a choice. The warrior chooses to rise, to fight again, to keep moving forward no matter how many times they are knocked to the ground. That decision, repeated over and over, builds a life of strength, courage, and victory. So when life knocks you down, and it will, do not see it as the end of your story. See it as the chapter where your strength is tested, where your courage is revealed, where your true warrior spirit emerges. Stand up, rise stronger, fight again. Because a warrior is not someone who never falls, but someone who refuses to stay down. Unleashing your inner warrior is a choice, choosing discipline over comfort, action over hesitation, and growth over excuses. Life is not simply about what you want. It is about what you are willing to sacrifice, endure, and commit to in order to become who you were meant to be. Every person has an inner warrior waiting to be awakened, but it will not rise without your decision to embrace the hard path. It will not come alive if you keep waiting for the easy way out, because the warrior inside you thrives only when you choose to fight against the pull of comfort, laziness, and fear. Discipline is the first weapon of a warrior. Comfort feels safe, it feels good, but comfort does not lead to greatness. Comfort is the silent thief of dreams. Many people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they chose ease over effort. Discipline, on the other hand, demands sacrifice. It asks you to rise when you want to sleep, to work when you want to rest, to persist when quitting feels more tempting. Discipline is not punishment, it is training. It builds your character, sharpens your focus, and prepares you for battles that comfort can never equip you for. When you choose discipline, you are choosing long-term strength over short-term pleasure. That choice, repeated daily, is what separates warriors from the rest. Action is the second weapon. The world is filled with dreamers, but far fewer doers. Everyone has visions of success, desires for a better life, or dreams of greatness. But visions without action are nothing but fantasies. A warrior understands that hesitation is an enemy disguised as caution. Waiting for the perfect moment, overthinking every possibility, doubting every step. These are the chains that keep people stuck where they are. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. There will always be risk, always be fear, always be uncertainty. The warrior chooses action anyway, because action is the only thing that creates momentum. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof of courage. Action builds confidence, while hesitation destroys it. The more you act, the more fearless you become. The third weapon of the warrior is growth, and growth requires you to destroy excuses. Excuses are the lies we tell ourselves to feel better about not trying. I don't have time. I'm not ready. It's too hard. These are shields of avoidance, not truth. A warrior rejects excuses because excuses keep you chained to weakness. Growth comes when you take responsibility for your life. Growth comes when you stop blaming others, stop waiting for luck, and stop pretending that your circumstances define you. Growth requires you to look at your flaws, your failures, and your fears honestly, then decide to rise above them. Every excuse you destroy opens the door to a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of yourself. Unleashing your inner warrior is not something that happens once. It is a choice you make daily. Every morning when you wake up, you face the decision, discipline or comfort, action or hesitation, growth or excuses. These choices seem small in the moment, but they shape the entire direction of your life. The warrior within you grows stronger every time you choose the harder path, every time you say yes to growth and no to excuses, every time you take action when fear tries to hold you back. It is not easy. In fact, it is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Choosing discipline means sacrificing things others indulge in. Choosing action means facing risks others avoid. Choosing growth means taking responsibility when others prefer to blame. But that is what makes it powerful. The path of the warrior is not meant for everyone. It is meant for those willing to pay the price of greatness. And when you choose this path, you unlock a strength within you that most people will never experience. The warrior mindset changes everything. Instead of saying, I can't, you ask, how can I? Instead of saying, it's too hard, you say, let me grow stronger. Instead of waiting for the right opportunity, you create it. Instead of letting failure defeat you, you let it teach you. That is what unleashing your inner warrior means. It is transforming your entire way of living through the power of choice. Remember, this greatness is not an accident. Warriors are not born, they are built. And they are built through daily choices, small victories, and consistent battles won against comfort, hesitation, and excuses. Every time you resist the urge to quit, every time you silence the voice that says, not today, every time you step forward when fear tells you to step back, you are building your inner warrior. At the end of the day, life does not reward those who had the easiest path. It rewards those who chose courage over fear and growth over excuses. The warrior inside you is waiting for that decision, waiting for you to say, I will not settle. I will not wait. I will not excuse myself anymore. I choose discipline. I choose action. I choose growth. That decision is the key that unlocks your strength, your resilience, and your destiny. Unleashing your inner warrior is a choice, and it is the most powerful choice you will ever make. Because once you make it, no obstacle can break you, no failure can stop you, and no excuse can hold you back. You will not just survive. You will rise, you will grow, and you will conquer. Adversity, pain, and struggle are not enemies. They are the fire that forges true warriors. Most people fear hardship. They see challenges as roadblocks, pain as punishment, and struggle as something to be avoided. Yet the truth is, without these very things, you cannot grow into the strongest version of yourself. The greatest individuals in history, the ones we call warriors, leaders, and visionaries, all walked through fire before they ever stood in glory. What made them extraordinary was not the absence of struggle, but their ability to embrace it, to see pain not as a curse, but as a teacher, and to use adversity as the very fuel that forged their greatness. Adversity has a way of stripping away illusions. When life is comfortable, it is easy to pretend you are strong, easy to believe that everything will always go smoothly. But when hardship strikes, it reveals the truth. It tests your resolve, your patience, and your willpower. In those moments, you find out who you really are. A person who has never faced adversity may appear strong, but the first storm will show whether their strength is real or only imagined. A warrior understands that adversity is not there to destroy them. It is there to shape them into something greater. Pain, too, is not the enemy. Pain is a signal, a reminder that growth is happening. Think of the body muscles only grow stronger when they are pushed to their limit, when they are torn and stretched beyond their comfort. The soreness you feel after a hard workout is not a sign of weakness. It is proof that growth is taking place. In the same way, emotional and mental pain is part of the process of building inner strength. Loss, failure, and heartbreak are painful, yes, but they are also the chisels that carve character, resilience, and wisdom. Without pain, there is no depth, no empathy, and no true strength. Pain does not come to break you. It comes to prepare you for the battles ahead. Struggle is the training ground of warriors. Every struggle forces you to adapt, to learn, to fight for what you want. Struggle demands perseverance when quitting feels easier, and it demands courage when fear whispers that you cannot go on. When you struggle, you are not being punished, you are being refined. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is tempered in fire. And warriors are forged through struggle. The struggle you face today is molding you into someone who will be unshakable tomorrow. The greatest danger is not adversity itself, but the way you see it. If you see adversity as the enemy, you will run from it, hide from it, or resent it. But if you see it as a teacher, you will embrace it, learn from it, and grow stronger because of it. The same fire that destroys wood can forge steel. It all depends on what you are made of. A warrior chooses to let struggle transform them instead of consume them. They rise from pain with greater courage, from failure with greater wisdom, and from adversity with greater strength. Think of every person who has achieved something extraordinary. Behind their triumphs are untold stories of sleepless nights, countless rejections, crushing failures, and unbearable struggles. Yet they pressed forward. They refused to let adversity define them. They turned pain into motivation and struggle into opportunity. Their scars became proof of their resilience, and their hardships became the foundation of their success. Without their struggles, they would not have become warriors. They would have remained ordinary. Adversity is also the equalizer of humanity. It does not discriminate. Every person, regardless of who they are, will face hardship at some point. What matters is not whether you face adversity, but how you face it. Some let it defeat them, others let it define them, but warriors let it refine them. They rise from it stronger, sharper, and ready to face even greater challenges. When life gives you pain, you have two choices: allow it to paralyze you, or allow it to fuel you. When life gives you struggle, you can either complain and quit, or you can fight and grow. When adversity comes, you can see it as the end, or you can see it as the beginning of your transformation. Every great warrior chooses the second path. They understand that comfort never created greatness, but hardship always did. So, do not fear the fire. Walk into it knowing it is shaping you into someone greater than you are now. Do not curse the pain. Endure it knowing it is strengthening you for tomorrow's battles. Do not run from struggle. Embrace it, because it is the very thing that will turn you from ordinary into extraordinary. The fire does not destroy the warrior, it forges them. In the end, adversity, pain, and struggle are not enemies, but allies in disguise. They are the teachers life gives you when you are ready to rise. They may break you for a moment, but they will rebuild you stronger if you refuse to give up. They may bend you, but they cannot destroy you unless you let them. Warriors are not born out of comfort. They are born out of fire. And the fire you face today is creating the strength you will need tomorrow. Embrace the fire. Let adversity sharpen you. Let pain strengthen you. And let struggle transform you. Because these are not enemies. They are the forge. And in that forge, true warriors are made. Your inner warrior is fueled by resilience, courage, and the relentless belief that you can rise again. Life does not promise a smooth path, nor does it guarantee constant success. In fact, it often delivers the opposite: setbacks, heartbreaks, failures, and unexpected storms. But it is within these moments that your inner warrior either awakens or remains silent. The difference is found in resilience, in the courage to move forward despite fear, and in the unwavering belief that no fall is final unless you choose not to rise. These three forces are the fire that keeps your warrior spirit alive, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Resilience is the backbone of your inner warrior. It is the ability to bend without breaking, to be knocked down, and still find the strength to stand tall again. Resilience does not mean you will never feel pain, exhaustion, or discouragement. It means that even when those emotions overwhelm you, you do not let them end your journey. Think of a tree in a storm. The wind may bend its branches, the rain may beat down upon it, but its roots keep it grounded. Resilience is your root system. The deeper it runs, the harder it is for life's storms to uproot you. Without resilience, the first difficulty will defeat you. With resilience, every difficulty becomes a stepping stone towards strength. But resilience alone is not enough. Courage is the heart of the warrior. It is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Everyone feels fear. Everyone faces doubt. The warrior is not someone who is fearless, but someone who refuses to let fear dictate their choices. Courage is standing up when you are afraid of falling again. It is speaking when your voice shakes, trying again when failure still lingers in your memory, and stepping forward when uncertainty clouds your path. Courage is what allows you to turn resilience into action. Without it, you may endure hardships but never move beyond them. With it, you transform challenges into opportunities and struggles into victories. Then there is the relentless belief that you can rise again. This belief is the fuel that keeps both resilience and courage alive. Without belief, resilience becomes empty endurance and courage fades into hesitation. Belief is what reminds you that no matter how many times you fall, you still have the power to rise. It is what whispers in your ear during the darkest nights that tomorrow still holds possibility. Belief is not about ignoring reality. It is about refusing to let reality define your destiny. You may fall 7 times, but belief pushes you to rise 8. You may fail repeatedly, but belief tells you that one success can erase 1,000 failures. Without belief, the warrior within you remains silent. With it, nothing can keep that warrior from fighting again. When resilience, courage, and belief combine, they create an unstoppable force. Resilience gives you the strength to endure the fall. Courage gives you the heart to rise despite the pain. Belief gives you the vision to see beyond the struggle to the victory ahead. Together, they form the essence of your warrior spirit. This is why some people crumble under the weight of life while others emerge stronger. It is not that one faced less difficulty. It is that one chose to fuel their inner warrior, while the other surrendered to despair. Think about the most inspiring stories you know. survivors who rebuilt their lives after tragedy, dreamers who succeeded after countless failures, leaders who stood tall after years of rejection. These people did not escape hardship, they endured it. They did not wait for courage to arrive fully formed. They acted even while afraid. And most importantly, they never stopped believing that they could rise again. Their resilience made them unbreakable, their courage made them unstoppable, and their belief made them victorious. Your own life will demand these qualities again and again. You will be tested by setbacks that feel unbearable. You will face moments when quitting seems like the easier choice. But the warrior within you calls you to something greater. It calls you to rise, to endure, to keep going when everything tells you to stop. Every time you choose resilience over defeat, courage over fear, and belief over doubt, you strengthen your warrior spirit. You prove to yourself that nothing, not failure, not pain, not even despair, can hold you down permanently. It is important to understand that this is not about one grand act of resilience or one moment of courage. It is about the daily decision to keep moving forward. It is about choosing to rise each time you fall, no matter how many times it happens. It is about training your mind to see setbacks not as endings, but as opportunities to grow stronger. The warrior within you does not expect perfection. It expects persistence. It expects you to keep fighting, to keep believing, and to keep rising again and again until you claim the victory you deserve. In the end, life will not be remembered by how many times you stayed on your feet, but by how many times you chose to rise after being knocked down. Resilience will make you stronger, courage will make you bolder, and belief will make you unstoppable. Together, they fuel the fire of your inner warrior, a fire that no storm can extinguish, no failure can destroy, and no obstacle can defeat. So when you stumble, do not despair. When you fall, do not surrender. When you face fear, do not back down. Remember that your strength lies not in never falling, but in always rising. Feed your resilience, ignite your courage, and never lose your belief, because your inner warrior is fueled by these three forces, and with them you can rise from anything again and again, until nothing in the world can stop you. When you unleash your warrior within, no challenge is too great, no dream too distant, and no battle too impossible. Deep inside every person lies a strength that is far greater than they often realize, a strength that only reveals itself when life demands more than you think you can give. Most people never discover this power because they stop when things get hard, they give up when dreams feel far away, and they surrender when battles seem overwhelming. But the truth is, those very moments are not meant to break you. They are meant to awaken the warrior within. And once that warrior is unleashed, you come to realize that the limits you thought existed were never real. They were illusions created by fear and doubt. Challenges, by their very nature, are designed to test you. They come to stretch you beyond what is comfortable, to force you to grow stronger than you were yesterday. For many, a challenge feels like a wall too high to climb, but for a warrior, it becomes an invitation to rise higher. Every challenge you face is not meant to stop you, but to shape you. When you unleash your inner warrior, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "How can this make me stronger?" You realize that no challenge is too great when faced with courage, persistence, and determination. Warriors understand that it is not the size of the challenge that matters. It is the size of the heart facing it. Dreams, too, often feel distant, almost unreachable. The path toward them is long uncertain and filled with obstacles. Many give up because the dream feels too far away, but the warrior within does not measure distance. It measures determination. A dream may take years, even decades, but when you refuse to quit, that dream becomes inevitable. Warriors do not let setbacks define the end of their journey. They let setbacks fuel their persistence. Every small step forward brings the dream closer, and every sacrifice along the way adds meaning to the victory. When you unleash your inner warrior, no dream is too distant because you stop focusing on how far away it is and start focusing on how committed you are to reaching it. Battles, whether external or internal, are inevitable. Some battles are fought against circumstances, against opposition, against forces beyond your control. Others are fought within, against fear, self-doubt, or old wounds. To the average person, these battles may feel impossible, overwhelming to the point of surrender. But the warrior inside you thrives in battle. Warriors are not afraid of the fight. They are built for it. They understand that battles are not meant to destroy them, but to reveal their strength. When you unleash your inner warrior, you stop fearing battles and start facing them with the certainty that victory is possible. Even if the outcome is not immediate, the act of fighting itself strengthens you for greater battles ahead. The true power of the inner warrior is not in avoiding difficulty, but in transforming it. What looks impossible to others becomes possible when you tap into the fire inside you. It is the fire that keeps you going when your body is tired, when your mind is filled with doubt, and when the world seems against you. It is the voice that tells you to rise one more time, to take one more step, to keep believing when everything around you says quit. With that fire, no challenge is too heavy, no dream too far, no battle too overwhelming. Think about the great achievements throughout history. They were not accomplished by people who had it easy. They were accomplished by people who faced challenges that seemed impossible, who pursued dreams that others laughed at, and who fought battles that looked unwinnable. The only difference between them and those who gave up is that they unleashed their inner warrior. They refused to accept defeat as permanent, distance as final, or battles as impossible. They chose to believe in their strength, and that belief carried them to victory. When you unleash your warrior within, you also inspire others. Your resilience becomes a model for those who are ready to quit. Your pursuit of dreams gives courage to those who are afraid to begin. Your battles and victories remind others that their struggles are not the end. Warriors do not fight only for themselves. They fight to light the way for others. And when you refuse to give up, you give permission to others to keep going too. The truth is, impossibility is an illusion. Challenges may be great, dreams may be far, battles may be hard, but none of them are beyond you when you fully step into the power of your inner warrior. The only thing that can truly stop you is giving up. As long as you keep moving, keep believing, and keep fighting, you are unstoppable. Your inner warrior makes you limitless because it teaches you to rise, no matter how many times you fall, to fight no matter how fierce the battle, and to keep going no matter how long the road ahead may be. So do not shrink in the face of difficulty. Do not abandon your dreams because they seem distant. Do not run from battles that test your strength. Stand tall. Call upon the warrior within you. Let discipline guide you, let courage move you, and let belief fuel you. Because when your warrior is unleashed, no challenge is too great, no dream too distant, and no battle too impossible.